California is currently experiencing an epidemic of pertussis, also known as whooping cough. Thus far this year, 3,500 cases have been reported, and so far, 2 infants have died. Meanwhile, Jenny McCarthy, the TV personality and symbolic head of the anti-vaccination movement in the United States, is very hard at work planning her wedding to Donnie Wahlberg, former New Kid on the Block. Sources say that Evan, Jenny McCarthy's son, who was vaccinated as a child and did not die a horrific death from a preventable disease, has just moved in with the couple in New York City. Congratulations, guys. The last time California experienced a whooping cough epidemic a few years ago, researchers determined that parents who filed for a non-medical exemption from vaccinating their children were much more likely to be living in one of the clusters where pertussis was breaking out. And these parents filing for the non-medical exemption were the exception to the rule because California has generally had a higher than average rate of vaccinations. In other words, it's highly likely that parents who are choosing not to vaccinate their children are having a real impact on the spread of a deadly disease. And let's be clear, it is a deadly disease. A lot of people might think of whooping cough as just a bad cough, but it's a cough that's so bad you can't catch a breath, a cough that's so bad that you cough until you vomit, or that you cough until you actually break ribs. Adults are usually able to survive the disease, but as we've seen with this recent epidemic, infants aren't always so lucky. It's worth noting that the pertussis vaccine isn't perfect. No, it doesn't cause autism or lycanthropy or spontaneous combustion, but it's also not the one-shot cure-all that a lot of people might imagine. In fact, many of the people who have contracted whooping cough in California have already been vaccinated. There are several reasons for this. One is that getting this vaccination doesn't guarantee that you will never get the disease. What it does is that it significantly lowers your chances of getting the disease. Plus, if you do get the disease, it lowers your chances of experiencing the really bad symptoms. The other reason the pertussis vaccine isn't perfect is because it actually loses its efficacy as time goes on. So a lot of people might not even realize that in order to stay up to date on your pertussis vaccination, you have to get a booster shot, preferably every 5 years or so. So what's the solution? It's simple, in theory. We make sure that every infant who can get an immunization gets an immunization, and we make sure that all adults get their booster shots on time. That way we can increase our herd immunity, which is just a fun way of saying that we all get a protective bonus when everybody is vaccinated. So that, and let's maybe keep Jenny McCarthy out of California for a while longer.